something I wanted to talk to you guys about that I'm not very happy with. We usually use square bales for our goats. We figured that, looking at it, it might not be a bad idea to get round bales as our farm grows. You can get round bales cheaper than you can square bales because square bales are more, I guess, labor intensive to do them. A lot of people don't do them anymore, other than the very large square bales. But they're easier to maneuver and work around with, and you can really check out the hay you're getting and stuff like that. So that's normally what we get, and we were happy with it. But we said, what the heck? We can almost basically cut the price in half, close to it, if we get round bales. So we went ahead and got some round bales from somebody. Good reviews, all that good stuff. Got 6 bales. I went ahead and tore into one of these round bales, and I kept seeing dark spots and things, and I really wasn't happy with it. So I got in almost half the bale, and then I'm seeing some dampness, that it was damp at one time, and I'm seeing some mold, which I'm not happy with, which I will not feed my animals. I just want to show you. Well, all this whiteness on here inside, I just can't get away from it. It's super dusty. As you can see, I don't know if you can tell. And I just don't trust it at all. So I've taken this round bale all apart. Still not getting any better. Now, some of it looks good. I'm not saying the whole bale looks like that. But the problem is I can't sit here and determine, oh, this has a little bit of mold on it, so I'm not going to give them to that. What this is telling me is when it was rolled out in the field, as you can see, they, just like a square bale, these bales are in sections, where it's pulled together and then it's rolled up. I'm not a professional by any means, but what this is telling me is it was wet when it was rolled. So therefore, it couldn't dry, and it creates mold within the layers. So there's no way around it. So if part of this bale's wet when it's rolled, it's going to be all the way through if it was baled that day and it wasn't dry enough. What I'm doing, fingers crossed, is I'm hoping I'm going to cut into another one of the 6 bales that we got, and I'm hoping it's going to look better than this. I'm just scared they're baled on the same day. That's usually what happens. So it might have been a big mistake. The farmer I deal with, he deals in square bales, and we know what we're getting every time. We go and pick it up even. And when we went to round bales and made a few phone calls and found somebody and got them delivered. We're kind of stuck with what we have, but I'm not going to feed my goats anything that doesn't look right. And to me, that this bale doesn't look right. When you grab a hay bale and you hold it up and you smell it, you can smell hay. When it smells like dirt, that ain't good. So, and that's kind of what I'm getting out of this bale. So hopefully it's just this one bale that has the issue, I'm hoping. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm taking this bale here. As you see, I'm taking everything and piling it up onto the tractor here, as well as this, what's left of this, half of this bale. And I'm going to take it up to the greenhouse and put it in the greenhouse for now, that we can use for gardening and things like that, because I'm not going to feed it to the goats. Now, bedding's one thing, but the problem is you use it for bedding. Hay's not the best thing to use for bedding because it doesn't absorb as much as straw. And that's why we use wood chips. Plus, if I put it in like the turkey shelter and something like that, the goats will go in there and eat it, and I don't want them to eat it. So chicken coop's one thing. I can put it in there. They can't get to that. But I don't want to take a chance with these goats. They need to have good, dry hay. And to me, this just don't look right. So we'll see. I'm going to cut another bale open and see what happens, see if it looks the same. It's hard to tell, until you really get into it, what you got. We do have a phone call into where we got it from yesterday. We left a message and stuff like that. They've not returned our calls. So anyway, live and learn there, I guess. But we'll see. I'm not trying to badmouth it. It might be just this one bale has an issue, and that happens. So I can deal with that. But if I got 6 bales that look like this, I'm not going to be happy. But hopefully it'll work out okay. Well, I'm not a hay professional, so if somebody else knows what this is, maybe it's not mold. You would think mold would be black and darker, which it does have dark spots in it, but it's a lot of whiteness, a lot of white grayish color. If you know what that is or have any idea, maybe I'm overreacting, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I just can't take the chance of making my goats sick. I do not want to do that. How you doing, Pete? What you doing, boy? You being a good boy? I imagine you are. Hi, Spence. Shouldn't you be up already this morning? What are you doing hanging out in there? Oh, you got some chickens in there with you. The chickens are going to take your spot, aren't they? All right, guys. Well, I cut into this second bale, and it looks pretty good on the top. After I got, a few inches of the hay off, it looked pretty good. So just not to take any chances, I figured I'll just go ahead, pull it apart some more. That way I can get a good look at things. And lo and behold, mold. Like white mold and dust. It's terrible. I thought this bale would be better, but it's not. There you go. See how white it is? All underneath, both sides. Yeah, it looks all good and all from the side. Look how white that is. It's terrible. So this bale is no better than the other bale. It might look okay to a point, but that's the problem. You'll get good spots and you'll say, oh, it's good hay, and you grab it and you're not paying attention. Next thing you know, you're throwing white mold with dusty spores all over the place. So I need to get these bales out of here. I don't want them, I don't even want them in here in the barn here around the goats and dog and everything else just because of the dust. So yeah, it's definitely a little frustrating, that's for sure. I'll just try to roll it over onto the forks here and get it out of this barn. And dust. Got some square bales. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I don't trust those other bales. I'll just get more square bales and stick to what I know and stick to the farmer that I deal with. You guys might know more than me. I've never bought round bales before. I'm assuming if, when they sit it out in the field, if it isn't dry enough, if it hasn't sat out there and got enough of the moisture out and they roll it up, it's gonna still ferment and get hot and that type of thing. And maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But you guys are the experts. So I'm looking to you guys for some answers. I'll be awaiting your comments on what you think of this situation.
Working a job that I can't stand for less than I'm worth, but all that I can command. Boss looking for a volunteer to stay on late tonight. I can't wait to leave, but I need the